right, hello everyone. Ooh, you came to the last session. You should get like an extra sticker. Okay, so this is getting interactive with Google Slides. So what I'm going to show you today very quickly is how to connect slides to each other and how to make drag and drop slides. So of course we can't go through every single tip, but it's going to be enough to get you started to, I always say enough to get you in trouble, right? So this is getting interactive with Google Slides. I'm Dr. Desiree Alexander. I'm the founder CEO of Educator Alexander Consulting. I'm also the deputy director for a nonprofit in the state of Louisiana. I have my business cards right here, but this is all of my contact information. I started my career as a 6th grade and 8th grade English teacher, became a high school English teacher, middle school librarian, high school librarian, and district level instructional technology supervisor. So that's been my 20 years in education. I know, I still look 14. I know. But there you go. So all my contact information is up there. Honestly, if you can get to educatoralexander.com, you can get to me. And she's like, yep. Okay, everything's on there. Sign up for my newsletter, all that good stuff. On the Twitter, I'm at Educator Alex. All other social media, Educator Alexander, including my YouTube channel. All right. So this is almost the last session for me. So tomorrow I have pretty much Google Forms level 2, so you can look that up in the app. And I'll be at the Edpuzzle booth doing a presentation at some point. All right. So this is the link that you want to get. I would suggest taking a picture of it so that way you can get to it later. You really don't have to go to it right now. We're going to be a little hands-on. But take a picture of this. You can get to it later. It does have some awesome resources that we're not really going to get to today because we only have 20 minutes. But awesome resources to help you interact your Google Slides. So I'm going to leave this up for just a couple of more seconds. I'm seeing pictures. They don't have to be perfect. It's not a person. Okay. All right, yep, now my time's almost over. So thank you. No, all right, so we're going to just hop straight into a slide. And like I said, the main 2 things I'm going to show you, just because we only have enough time, is how to link slides to each other and how to do a drag and drop slide. So when we're talking about linking slides to each other, why would I do that? That's how you're going to create things like Jeopardy games, right? And I think there's a template on my website for it, I think. Don't quote me. But I can send you a template if you email me if it's not on the website. But how to link slides to each other, you can create those Bitmoji classrooms, all that kind of stuff. You can also create an app, like a real app that you can give to people and they can put it on their phone using Google Slides. So Google Slides is like the hot stuff. All right. So I'm here. I'm going to actually delete these boxes. Who has done this before? You put a slide and you delete the boxes. Let's stop doing that. Okay? I still do it, y'all. I still do it. If you click on the little button, it has a blank slide just sitting there waiting on you. It's like, I'm here. Would you rather delete 50 boxes? Okay? I still do it. Like, while I'm deleting the boxes, I'm like, I'm so stupid. And I'm just still deleting the boxes. So there's a blank slide right here, y'all. All right. So we got a couple of slides, so we're going to start connecting them to themselves. So y'all hear that too, right? Okay. Just making sure. I tell people I am scary and I will run. All right. I'll run straight down the aisle. All right, so I'm going to just put some text here. So I'm going to call this game, just for an example. All right, let me say, which do you like? Which do you like, right? And I'm not going to make it cute or anything. And I want to connect slides to themselves. I'm going to make one more slide. So I'm going to put cake and pie. So I'm going to come here to image. I'm going to go to search the web. I'm going to search for a lovely pie. And I'm going to drag that in, and I am dragging it in for a reason instead of double clicking. You'll see that reason in a second. And then I'm going to get cake. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. There we go. Good enough. It's not cute, but it's there. And we have cake. Ugh. I don't like that. All right. That cake looks like something wrong with it. All right. So there we go. So now we got this cake that looked good. All right. So we're going to say that one of these is right and one of these is wrong. You can place bets which one I'm going to say is right and which one I'm going to say is wrong. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to do a text box. So that's fine. I can just do this. I'm going to say it's right. Again, we're not trying to make it cute. We're just trying to make it work. And I'm going to do another text box and I'm going to call this wrong. So what I want is when they click on pie, it's going to go to one of these. And when they click on cake, it's going to go to the other. So that's how we link slides to each other. So let me show you how easy it is to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Pi. I am going to click on the hyperlink. So you know when we hyperlink something, you're sending it to a website or you're sending it to something in your Google Drive. We're going to use the same concept. So we're going to click on hyperlink, and we're going to go to slides, excuse me, slides in this presentation. Now, I will say sometimes you click on it and you can't see slides in this presentation. So what we just kind of deal with this. What you have to do is sometimes make your picture a little bit smaller. You notice how I move both pictures to the top automatically because I'm used to not seeing it, right? So it's just, sometimes I have to come here and make my screen a little smaller. So it's just something we deal with, first world problems. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna go to slides in this presentation. And which one do you think I want to put, right or wrong? Man, y'all are my kind of people. Cake forever. All right, so I'm going to come here, and I'm going to go to the hyperlink, slides in this presentation, and I'm going to go to right. So now when they click on Pi, it's going to go to wrong. When they click on cake, it's going to go to right. So if I'm sitting here, I'm like, Desiree, this isn't working. You do have to go to slideshow mode. So Pi, wrong. I'm just doing my own thing. All right. Thank goodness Google saves. Auto save. Thank you, Google. All right. So slideshow, cake, right. Now, what am I missing? I have absolutely no clue. This is what I heard. So I don't know what y'all said. So y'all, I'm going to say yep. So what I'm missing is a way to get somewhere else, right? Back, or I don't know why I didn't hear y'all. My sight is already bad. I hope nothing else is going out. So I need something to go back, or I need something to go forward, because this is what I don't want. I don't want you to click the cake and then have to go to the wrong slide. Like, that's just defeating the purpose, right? So I need something to say go back or go forward. So you can either use a word or you can use a picture. I usually like to use a little house if I'm bringing them back home, right? But you can also do this with words. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself a little house. I'm going to say insert image, search the web, and I'm going to look for a home. This is my little house that I usually use. I'm going to drag it. Notice I am dragging. That's going to be important in a second. And I'm going to, put it in whatever corners. People always like, why are you putting it? I don't know. That's just where I put stuff right here. Like, I think that librarian in me, like, turn the page. That's kind of how I think about it. But you can put it wherever you want to. And then we're going to hyperlink that. But then I'm going to give you a tip. So I moved it to the top just so I can make sure that I can see slides in this presentation. And I want this to go to slide number 1. So every time they click this, it's going to bring them back to slide number 1. Now, we want to work smarter, not harder. So instead of doing this on every single slide, what you want to do is build one slide and then duplicate. Because if I build one slide and then duplicate, that little house is still going to be there, and it's still going to be linked. So work smarter. And I can still, take it and copy and paste. Why do all that, right? So work smarter, not harder. But because I wasn't smart, because I was showing you how to do it, I am going to delete this slide. I'm like, am I missing it? Yes, you are. And I'm going to put my house right here. So now let's see how this works. I'm in slideshow. I want to be in the front. Okay, here, I can click the house. Here, I can click the house. Does that make sense? So that's how you can link slides to themselves. Now, the thing is this opens up a whole new world for you. Because now, has anybody heard of Slides Mania? And how amazing that you can build those things. Like, this is what she's doing. Now, she's doing it at a higher level than what I'm showing you. But this is what she's doing, right? She's linking slides to themselves. So, that's it. There's really no other trick to it besides what I'm about to show you, which is the master slide, but now it's called Edit Theme, okay? But I'm going to stop right here. Do we have any questions about doing this? If we have time at the very, very end, I'm going to show you one, kind of a super trick for it. If we have time, if we don't, it's not a big deal, I promise. So that's how you link slides to themselves. Now let's talk about doing a, drag and drop in backgrounds. So if I build a drag and drop slide right here, and maybe I want true and false, and I want you to go ahead and put, drag stuff for true and false, I can't build it right here, because if I build it right here, they're going to be able to move the true and false. We've all probably dealt with that before. So what a lot of us will do is we'll build it right here, right? And then we'll download it as a picture and upload it as a background. That's what I used to do before I learned about the master slide. So I was like, yeah, that's perfect. And then I had a student change the background of the whole thing by mistake, and now my stuff was gone again. And I was like, oh my goodness, what is happening, right? So now I just go into the edit master to do it. So to get that, you're going to go to slide and go to edit theme. And let me show you how cool this is. So if I go to slide, edit theme, which used to be called master slide, so if you hear that, kind of the same thing. So edit theme, and look, these are all of my layouts that Google gives me. So if I come here, all these layouts, I'm actually adding another layout. So I'm going to come here to edit theme, and I don't want to change any of these because I may want to use them one day. So I'm actually going to add a blank one, and notice it says custom. So I'm going to rename this and call it true, false. Okay, just act like that says false. All right. Questions so far? All right. So I'm going to delete this little box because I don't need it. Excuse me. I think I'm going to make a true, false. So I'm going to open a shape. And now this is not something I'm showing you because you can build this however you want to. This is just kind of how I do it most of the time. Okay, so I have a shape. And I can, of course, change the color of the shape to make it white if I don't want that background color. But I'm just going to, again, leave everything like it is. I am going to copy this shape. And you may say, well, Desiree, I didn't see you click copy and paste. That's because another tip is for words or pictures or anything, if you hit the control button on your Chromebook or whatever, hit the control button and drag, it will automatically copy it for you. I know, little stuff, the more you know. All right, so I'm just going to call this true. And another thing is if you are, oh my gosh, if you are using shapes, you can actually type in the shape just by double clicking it. Okay, you don't have to add a text box to a shape. So, I mean, unless you want something fancy. All right, so then I'm going to put this on this side. Again, it's not going to be cute, but that's not what we're here for. And I'm going to call this false. So now I have a true, false, and I'm ready to go. So if I click the little X right here, you're going to say, well, Desiree, where's my true, false slide? It is now a layout that you can use. Now, this is the thing, though. You can only use it on this slideshow. So what that means is if I want to make a collection of layouts, I'm going to create a slideshow just for template layouts. Think about that. So I can make a slideshow and make a whole bunch of templates, true, false, drag and drop, this and that, this and that, this and that, Bitmoji classrooms, all that stuff, and just put it in one slideshow. So whenever I want to use one of those slides, I go to my template slideshow, I go ahead and add the slide, which I can't, you see how we can't change anything because it's a background, okay? I copy it, I go bring it to a new slideshow and paste it. So now I really have a collection that I can use at any time because I made a template slideshow. And it's going to say, do you want to connect this to the original? Nope, I just want to use the slide. And that's how easy it is to build stuff like that. And then you can go on Teacher Pay Teachers and sell it for $100, okay? So, I mean, and seriously, you really can sell it if you want to make really good templates. Because, I mean, I don't want to do this myself if I can buy it. So there you go. Okay, so now let's talk about a couple of tips for actually the drag and drop part. So that's how you do the background. But now I want to do the actual drag and drop. So if I want to use pictures, if you notice, I kept saying I was showing you how to drag them in for a reason. So if I do search the web, and let's say I'm looking for apples and oranges. I don't know which one would be true. I don't have a skin in this game. Apples, maybe, I don't know. But so if I want to drag different pictures, now if I double click, the reason why I'm not double clicking is that screen goes away. So now I have to keep going back to images, 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 images. And I know some of us have had that problem. So if you don't, keep doing that, if you drag, it stays there. So that's, now you remember I kept going, I'm dragging for a reason, I'm dragging, it's going to be important later. So that's what's so cool about it. So now, I guess I should get a couple more apples just to make it make sense. All right, and then I'm going to do oranges. All right, and 2 oranges is enough. There we go. All right. So now I have some stuff to drag and drop. So some of the cool things when you are getting either words, and I'm going to give you a couple of tips for words. Words are images to drag and drop, is you have a lot of empty space that you are not using when you're giving drag and drop stuff, because all of this is space that you can use. Okay, and I see a lot of teachers putting like 50 words on this screen, and the students have to move words from on top of each other. I'm like, why are we using all the space that we have? Okay, so the students can see all of this stuff. And watch another cool thing. So if I come here to File and go to Page Setup, I can change how big that middle part is. So if I don't need that middle part to be super, super big, I can say, well, let's make that middle part smaller, and now I have more space on the outset. I can also come here and say, okay, I want to do File, Page Setup, and I can come here and do Custom and do 8.5 by 11. So now I'm about to start, or whatever that was, let's see, 8.5. Don't talk while you're typing, it's not good. All right, so now I have it looking like a sheet of paper. So when you're talking about using slides for newsletters, I don't want a big, who reads a newsletter that looks like that? Fix yourself, okay? So you come, and you make it look like a real newsletter, right? So come and use that, but look at what it did to my background. So if you're going to change the size, do it first, all right? Because then when you build it, it's going to make more sense. It's going to look better. You won't have to go and edit it. So just keep that in mind. But I'm just going to go back. There we go. So now the students can come and drag and drop this wherever it's supposed to go. And now I have an assignment that's super easy for me to grade. And I want to show you words and give you a quick example. So I had a high school science teacher, because people look at this and go, oh, this is cute for the littles. It's cute for everybody, okay? So I had a high school science teacher that was doing I'm not science, so like the way the cell changes, whatever that's called. Y'all don't even have to tell me, I'm not going to remember. So the way the cell changes, right? And he was literally cutting out stuff while he was in my session, which I never mind. I'm like, teachers don't have time. Cut, baby. So he was cutting out his little stuff, and the students are going to paste it in the order that the cell changes. And he was like, wait, does that mean I can take a picture of this, put those on the slide, and then they can drag and drop them, and I could just eat? I was like, yes, sir. He's like, oh, what? And he just started, like, he ignored me, and he started taking pictures and stuff, like, go ahead, baby, okay? But it made me happy. I was like, good, because it's not just, you see drag and drop, oh, it's good for little, it's good for everybody, okay? It's just rethinking what you're doing, rethinking what you're already doing, right? All right, last thing, words. So I don't suggest using text boxes. So if you wanted them to drag the word, I don't like text boxes because they're usually hard to grab, and it's very, very easy to change the word, right? So I like to use either a shape or a text art, and I actually like word art better. I said text art, but y'all got my point. So if I use a shape, I draw my shape, double click it, type my word in, and of course I can make it cuter because it's like I can do like different colors and all that kind of stuff. But now it's a little bit easier to drag. Now, and they can kind of double clicking it to change it, but it's not as easy to change, right? Now, I like text art the best. So if I go to insert, I keep saying text art, sorry, word art from kind of back in the day. Y'all remember word art, some of y'all, when we had the paper clip and it was like, yeah, don't need to not go there. All right, so cat. And of course, again, I can make this super, super, we don't want to go back to those days. I can make it super, super cute and all that kind of stuff. And this is even easier to drag. That's why I really like word art. And then they have to double click it and go to it to type. So if you mess that up, you meant to mess it up, right? Because if you double click, you're like, oh no, you'll click off of it. So if you mess it up, you meant to, that was malicious, right? And I'll deal with you. All right, so there you go. And you can make it like a sentence. It'll just be like a little bit small. But you can change the font and all that. So that's why I like that better than anything. Any questions? All right. We are right about at time. That is how you can make your slides interactive. On the website, they have a bunch of resources that you can use, including like Slides Mania, all the different slides places, just things to like do all of this. My business cards are up here, and I have 2 seconds left, so I'm going to dance, and I'm done. All right. Thank y'all so much.